President would like to pass the baton to me once he is leaving.
BFM 89.9, this is the Breakfast Grille. I'm Keith Kam. This morning on the show, we are pleased to have Malaysia's Parliamentary Opposition Leader, Deputy Perikatan Nasional Chair, Datuk Sri Hamzah Zainudin in the studio. Welcome to BFM, Datuk Sri. Welcome back, actually.
Oh, thank you, Keith. Thank you to BFM too.
Datuk Sri, let's start with your own party. Parti Pribumi Malaysia Bersatu is going through what looks like its worst internal crisis since its founding, with MPs sacked, others suspended, divisions openly questioning Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's presidency. Is this really still a functioning party? Because, for observers like us from the outside, it looks like open warfare.
Oh my God, I never realized that when I was asked to be here, the first question should be something else. It's not about my party. Well, you know me as a politician, of course, when you ask, I got to reply.
Yeah.
The point is this, in other, not only Bersatu, but any other parties for that matter, there's always have then some internal bickering about
For sure.
leaderships and all that. And I think I hope it can be settled in a short while rather than just prolong it.
So, what we saw is one Saiful Wanjan, he has been sacked, one Ahmad Faisal, he was suspended. Both claim selective justice and bias in the disciplinary board. The thing is, I keep thinking this sort of political purging is what we used to see in your old party, UMNO, which is the very culture Bersatu was founded to reject, right? I mean, what do you say to that, though?
That's why, as when you asked me just now, I was
Yeah.
trying to avoid to answer that question. I say,
it's tough.
since you pressure me for me to answer the same questions again, I would like to tell you this. Of course, people from outside would think that this is something which is looking into the political landscape in this country, for example. Bersatu is going to be a major role in this coming election. And if the party has this kind of problems, of course, people start questioning.
Okay.
Are they really looking forward to take over the government or not? But at the same time, everyone should understand also, we have our own constitutions.
Right.
And we also have our policies.
Yeah.
And the understanding of democratic system in the party also has got to be adhered by everyone in the party. Looking at one Faisal, for example, there must be a reason behind it, why he was asked.
And what was the reason, though?
I don't know, but it is by the disciplinary board.
Okay.
And after the things happen, I think until today, I'm just waiting for the Supreme Council to hold for the next meeting.
Okay.
Which I was told it was going to be on the 4th.
Okay, so the thing is, Bersatu is a very important party in the opposition, which is why I have to bring this up. So now the observation that a lot of outsiders are picking up on is that there are three power blocks within your party. There's Team Muhyiddin Yassin, Team Azmin Ali, and the other one under your deputy presidency camp, that's Team Hamzah Zainudin. How do you respond to that characterization? Is that really happening? Are these blocks really that tangible?
I'm so happy because when you ask me that question, it shows that Bersatu has got quite a number of leaders that until they can create blocks like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're going to suspend people and sack people, that's what does it say about dissension within your party?
Well, yeah, of course. It's actually maybe we can resolve in the next coming Supreme Council meeting.
Okay.
Rather than just for me giving the answer today, I would like to ask a lot more things in the next coming party meeting.
So those three blocks actually exist?
I don't know, because that's why I said, since people are saying about we got 3 blocks at the moment, I'm so happy in the sense that it shows that we have got leaders in a party that recognize by the people.
Okay, so that brings me to the other topic about leadership transition. I mean, like, there's a movement within Bersatu. I see a lot of your grassroots calling for you to take over from Tan Sri Muhyiddin. Are you supportive of that effort, or are you encouraging it even?
No, in fact, in the first place, I did not know what's happening.
Okay.
Until
how can you
few
not know
days,
what's happening? I mean, I'm sure the grassroots
no.
will tell you.
Until a few days, I got to talk about the chronology, why it happened. So when you ask me about that kind of questions, my answer is very simple. In the first place, when I asked them why this thing happened, I knew about that just a few days or 1 week before our annual general meeting. So I've already told my president that, okay, at that time I was supposed to go overseas, and I went overseas. I came back and I thought of trying to resolve the matter.
All right.
But something happened, which I think I couldn't do it at that time.
Okay.
So that's why it prolonged. But I thought during my speech, during Penggolongan, for example, at that time, and I've already mentioned to everyone, and I said I'm number one supporter of my president.
Okay.
And I shouldn't ask any more questions about that, because I'm giving the fullest support to my president, and don't question my loyalty to the president. And even I asked during the last speech of my speech during that day was for the president, not only asking from one or two, but you must go down and ask from everyone. This is what I've been trying to tell the president.
No, okay, so that's the thing. I mean, I'm not questioning your loyalty as far as leadership and presidency within Bersatu are concerned. I'm asking you about the sort of transition from Tan Sri Muhyiddin to someone else. Could that someone else be you? Have you had that conversation with Tan Sri Muhyiddin?
I think it is quite known that President would like to pass the baton to me once he is leaving. But the point is this, the question is about, when you talk about transition, it's up to the President when he actually wants to pass the baton.
Okay.
And for me as a deputy, I'm just waiting. It's just like 4x100. Maybe I'm the second runner and he's the first runner. I'm just waiting while he's near me. He passed the baton, I will take it. Just as long as it is not over the line.
Okay, that's
what I said.
Because that's the thing with Malaysian political parties, right? I mean, Bersatu is no different. Neither is UMNO, neither is PKR. I find that incumbent leaders, they're always so resistant to anyone challenging them. Why do you think that's so? And would your leadership be any different if and when you do become president? Would you groom the next leader?
Kids, as a politicians, everyone, when they come in, they know how to knock the doors and say, I would like to come into the party.
Okay.
But when they want to leave, sometimes there are, as what you said, there's only one door.
Okay.
The exit door is only one door.
So the last election was in November last year. I mean,
Right.
there was no contest, right, for party president.
Correct.
Do you know when the next election is going to be held?
It's going to be 3 years after that.
Okay.
So it's going to be, that was last year.
Yeah.
24, right? So it's going to be 27.
27. So that could be after GE16. Would you be contesting that?
That's going to be a long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some time to go with it. I think we can wait about that.
Okay, so that means from now until then, we just have to watch the 3 blocks battle it out. Is that what we are expecting to see?
No, I don't want you to use the word battle it out. I
Okay.
want it to just to look at these 3 leaders. How can they compromise to make sure the party becoming stronger and stronger?
And that's where my question is also. I mean, when all the dust is settled and the party does come together, how can you actually trust each other enough though? Because I mean, at the end of the day, when a lot of us look at it, Bersatu is made up of members from other parties who have either been sacked or have resigned and moved on to find this particular party. I mean, everyone seems to change their allegiances so easily. In fact, you said politics change all the time. I mean, can you trust each other enough to go on?
You know, when we talk about trusting each other, it's all depending on individual. You can't ask about groups.
Okay.
Talking about leaderships today, and if you talk about leadership, that's what you said. We have got 3 blocks, as what you mentioned. It could be 4, it could be 5.
Okay.
But the point is whether the leaders of the party can really sit down and talk about the future of the party. And this is what everyone is hoping. It's not only people down there, and I personally and the president is looking forward to really look into the future by handling the situation in a very civilized manner in order for everyone to understand each other well or better.
Okay, so if we zoom out and look at Perikatan Nasional, in Parliament, Bersatu holds fewer parliamentary seats than PAS actually does. Yet it insists that the opposition leader and even the PN's prime ministerial candidate should come from Bersatu. Do you think PAS is being generous? Have they started making moves about wanting to take over?
You know, when it comes to politics, you have to talk about
being pragmatic, you mean?
Yeah, being pragmatic.
Okay.
Everyone's got to be pragmatic into looking forward about who's coming and who's going to be the leader, who's going to be the next future prime minister, and all that is got to be real. It cannot be just looking into one party. The reality on the ground is actually very important, and everyone should just read into the reality.
Okay.
And if on the ground saying that someone should take the lead, so everyone have got to give the support. And at the moment, we believe that what we are doing at the moment, I personally is actually opposition leader in the parliament.
Yeah.
But as a party in a whole, I think Tan Sri Mahyudin is the chairman of Perikatan Nasional. And don't look into who's bigger or who's small here. But the reality is who's supposed to take the lead and who's supposed to govern everyone into one.
Is there any truth to observations by political analysts that PAS is beginning to see Bersatu sort of as a liability, especially with the kind of party infighting that we're seeing currently, or is that just a passing phase?
No, Keith, put it this way. Sometimes when I look at these analysts, political analysts,
Yeah.
they're looking at the book, but have you seen anyone, for that matter, the analysts, that really been practicing politician? If you can tell me, then maybe he will understand better.
But sometimes, those who don't do, they can teach, right? So that's probably where the analysts are coming
Teaching
from.
is based on the books, but the reality is on the ground.
Okay.
You see, when you look at on the ground, every kind of people is there. So you have to really understand. So there are mix of people, not only in terms of genders, but also in terms of age. The demography is totally different then. So the understanding is actually more, practicality is more important than anything else. That's why when people talk about the analysis that PAS is coming in to take over just to make sure that they are in control, I think it's all depending on pragmatism, as I said earlier.
Now, Datuk Sri, the latest Merdeka Centre's midterm poll shows PM Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's approval rating improving to 55%, suggesting Malaysians may be giving the government some benefit of the doubt. How does PN convince voters it is the better alternative, especially with many leaders, including yourselves, coming from the same political establishment, the one that overthrew an elected administration at the start of a global pandemic in 2020?
As I said earlier, when it comes to politics, you must look at the political landscape in this country. Anwar Ibrahim came in as a prime minister, not as a winner. But finally, he became the prime minister. It shows that the dynamic of this political situation in this country will change from time to time. Today, we look at the position of Anwar Ibrahim And probably Merdeka Center can just come up with any polls and say he has got the biggest majority in terms of support. But when I look at the reality on the ground, everywhere I go, and people start stopping me and ask me, hey, Perikatan Nasional, when are you going to take over? And these kind of questions, maybe just because I'm an opposition leader, they ask the same question. But you look at the reality, and I think the people are still shouting and, asking for God intervention, divine intervention. And please help this country, because looking into the reality, for example, cost of living, and people are still not happy with what the government is doing at the moment. And that's why when it comes to budget speech recently, I proposed a few things. So that, and I'm telling the people that if we are taking over, we can give something better, not only in terms of giving to the people, but fairness. We would like to share the prosperity.
Okay.
And this is what I am trying to propose for the government to look into.
Who are you? Whose opinions are you getting to a point where the cost of living is so bad that they want a change in government, not from an election, but midway through this current government's term? I mean, I'm also kind of curious because, admittedly,
and I see this cost of living is one of them.
Correct.
And there are so many flip-flop policies in this country.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, so Anwar leads a coalition that doesn't hold a simple majority. That one is quite clear. And at the start, there was quite a lot of efforts, like Lanka, Dubai, for example, to change the government in the early days. Why have you guys given up on this?
Did you really believe about Lanka, Dubai?
I mean, these are all what's been.
That's why it's all rumors.
Okay,
and
so you guys never ever wanted to overthrow the government in the early days of the Madani government's term?
No, we wanted to be united in that sense. We thought that maybe there's some ways of doing things, some ways of doing of taking over the government. I mean, of course, we have that kind of things in mind. I've got to be fair here for everyone who's listening to this. That's it. Any party for that matter. So for them, it's just making sure that they got to be powerful or being taken by everyone as someone capable, someone can manage better than the other side. I think it's only fair. Just like Anwar did the last time when he was in the opposition. And I think for us, it's almost the same thing. Not only in Malaysia, I think everyone all over the world is doing the same thing. It's fair.
Yeah.
But the point here is, when we talk about, just I said, one of the things that we talk about is cost of living.
Yeah.
But the other thing, which is more important, is about the policies, flip-flop policies. There are so many other things. So, and I've already mentioned it so many times.
Yeah.
And I said the best thing is now is to coming up with a policy that everyone can take it, everyone can accept it. And that was the reason that I started to come up with a policy of national consensus, the new national consensus. I mean, agree to certain things and agree to disagree on certain things.
Okay, so that's what I love about Malaysian democracy. I mean, the fact that we have an opposition kind of indicates that we have a government in waiting if, God forbid, the existing government fails. But my question here is also regarding, I mean, there were reports about Perikatan Nasional not being able to pay their rental, pay salaries of their staff, having to give up the Solaris Tutamas HQ. What's the situation with that right now? Are you guys operating okay? What's funding like?
That's the point. The point is this. Everyone thought that we are the corrupt group of people. Why is it that we can't pay? It shows that we are living on whatever that we have.
Okay.
So that's the thing. When you ask me these questions, I think I'm so happy is that I can tell everyone that we are not like that.
Okay.
So that is the position is we are living in terms of whatever that we want to spend is basically by the donation of member of parliaments, state assemblymen, the members that contribute to the party.
This is another very interesting thing, because one of the institutional reforms that the Pakatan Harapan government wanted to put in place was a political funding bill, and I think it's currently being discussed right now. Detailed review, according to the Minister Azalina Osman. Would you be supportive of a political funding bill if it ever comes to light in Parliament?
Why not? We like it to be transparent so that everyone should understand where they got the money from.
So it would be supportive. You would be supportive of it.
Yeah, I will be.
Okay, switch gears a little bit. Bersatu has been very vocal in criticizing the government's trade deals with the United States, saying that they compromise national sovereignty and favor foreign interests. What are your thoughts on it?
And I have already done that yesterday
Yeah.
in my press conference. I've already mentioned it.
Okay.
And I said it to everyone that my fear is when I look at certain articles in the agreement. And when you talk about our country, our position as being known as a trading nation.
Yeah.
And for a trading nation like us, a small trading nation like us, we need to have quite a number of members. We must have a lot of friends all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So we know America is also very important for us because we trade quite a big number with America. And we also must have our friends from other parts of the world. So if you want to sign any trade agreement, you can do it as long as it is fair. And the position that we have at the moment, I've been questioning the government. How can you sign an agreement where we feel that it is not fair? It is one-sided. It looks like it is one-sided so much until we can even compare. I brought it here today, and I would like to let you know, for example, whatever that been signed, America signed with White House signed with Cambodia.
Yeah.
I just look at one article only. And I'm looking into that. Complementary actions on economic and national security. Article 5.1, for example. With Cambodia. I don't have to read a big one. What I would like to read here is just to look at what Cambodia did with America. I read it here. Upon receiving such notification from the United States, Cambodia shall regulate the importation of that good or service into its territory through similar measures as those of the United States in a manner, this is what I would like to emphasize on, that does not infringe on Cambodia's sovereign interests.
Okay, so here's my issue with this, because when I look at when Bersatu was in power during the COVID pandemic, your own party colleague now, Dato' Sri Azmin Ali, he was from UMNO and then PKR and is now Bersatu Secretary General. He was one of the biggest proponents of the CPTPP, and that's a deal that also sparked the same sovereignty and competition concerns. I feel there's a bit of a double standard here, because he pushed that deal through without any consultation. So how is this different?
No, it's wrong. We had a thorough discussion.
Not according to ideas and
No. I was a cabinet member.
Yeah.
I could tell everyone today that it is actually, be fair to Azmin.
Okay.
He brought it to the cabinet. We go line by line.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas Malaysia, for example, when it comes to the same issue, Article 5.1, Malaysia agreed to a timeline for implementation that is acceptable to both parties. Come on. What difference does it make? A lot of difference.
Yeah, so the same thing. The CPTPP was done without any public debate. There was civil society complained that consultation was inadequate. But regardless,
the consultation is one thing. But
Yeah.
the point is this: when you come up with that kind of agreement, after that, when the public look into it, that's fair. But here, okay, even without the consultation, if it is fair, do you think we is in a position would like to make any noise about that?
Okay, but I guess the thing is, with this case, right, it's probably easier to complain about something when you're in the opposition, but when you're in the government, it's different. Some would say Bersatu's economic policy today can be seen as protectionist. Would things be different if you were in power?
You see, when it comes to protectionists, you mentioned about, and you use that. And I would like to tell you, Keith, it's all depend on the situation. When we were in the government at that time, COVID came, and when pandemic came, it is unprecedented.
Indeed, yeah.
So we were actually governed during the time when everyone, the whole world, unprecedented. What do you expect people to do? No one has got any experience to face that kind of problems. And even then, we managed to make sure that people survive. And I think at that time, everyone was concerned about health. So I think we did very well. Not only, I should not just claim, but I think the report came from the World Health Organization.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about that. But right now, right, if I were to ask you if Bersatu or Perikatan Nasional were to return to Putrajaya tomorrow, would you withdraw Malaysia?
I hope so.
Yeah, would you withdraw Malaysia from the CPTPP or even these new US trade deals? How would you negotiate with Donald Trump differently?
Yeah, we will definitely negotiate with Donald Trump on a different platform. You see, if Cambodia can even sign with this kind of, at least putting Cambodia's sovereign interest into it, why can't we? We can also do the same thing.
Yeah, it's very easier to say because you're in the opposition right now and everything is hypothetical, right, Dato Sri?
Yeah, same thing. Your question is hypothetical. The point is whether you can do it or not. You ask me, and I say, yes, I can do it. It is not hypothetical because you asked me that question. I am very sure that we can do it.
Now, Dato Sri, the Sabah election is happening at the end of next month. Bersatu has been sidelined politically in the state since Dato Sri Hajiji Noor's defection and GRS rise. How do you intend to rebuild credibility among Sabah voters after what many see as Bersatu's betrayal back in 2023? I mean, it must be an uphill task for you guys, right?
Who actually betrayed? Bersatu or the candidates? Okay. And that should be answered.
Okay.
Hajiji left us. He and some of those people left us and formed their own GRS, combined with the current government, the federal government, and they rule the state. And if you look at Bersatu, immediately after they left, everyone thought that we wouldn't survive in Sabah. Let me be very frank with you. We formed immediately after that.
Yeah.
Every parliament has got one division. Okay? And not only that, we have got supporters coming. Today, you cannot look at Sabah as like Sabah in those days. Today, Sabah also has got young, professional people with open-minded group of people. And you look at gender, I think, and you look at the age, everything is actually different than before. And in this coming election, the young voters are almost 50-50 now compared to above 40 years old. It shows that the thinking is going to be different than before. Yes. And what will the voter look into?
Okay.
Of course, they look into the capabilities of those candidates.
Yeah.
And what we are going to put into the next coming election is good candidates, young candidates, professional, capable people.
Where do you see your support in Sabah?
Well, we have already, for the last few months, actually, to be exact, early of this year, we have already started with our campaign.
Yeah.
We call ourselves Jelajah Sabah,
Okay.
Negeri Sabah. And we put our war cry. Today, we call us the, what do you call it? I forgot, like, Kasih Bagus Sabah.
Okay.
You know, that's the war cry. Kasih Bagus Sabah. It shows that what we are trying to tell everyone is that this time around, we have got to make sure if we take over, we make sure they will make Sabah better than anyone else before.
How will you be going into Sabah? I mean, it's going, like I said, it's going to be an uphill battle because as far as Sabahans are concerned, this rhetoric of Sabah for Sabahans is very, very strong. And Bersatu is essentially a Semenanjung party, right?
Okay. Kids, we look into the last election. The last election, Warisan was the incumbent. Shafi'i Abdal was the chief minister then.
Yeah.
Okay? And we were the opposition in Sabah. Okay? And the incumbent lost. Warisan lost. And we won. I mean, we in the sense at that time is not Perikatan Nasional alone. We combined with so many other parties. In the end, we managed to form the government together, at that time, together with Barisan Nasional. So we, in that sense, those days, we, Perikatan Nasional, combined with Barisan Nasional,
Yeah.
and we formed the government without Warisan at that time.
Yes.
And today is different. And GRS are not combining with Barisan.
Indeed. Yeah. I mean, it's,
And Warisan at the same time, they're also going alone. There's already 3 factions there. And we coming in with another group of people, and it can become 4 blocks of strong
I mean, you're going to end up.
organization or party.
Yeah, so you're just going to split the opposition vote even further in Sabah, meaning there's going to be a lot more instability, right? I mean, nobody's going to get a clear majority at the end of the day.
Do we have any clear majority here in federal government?
I mean, that's a different case. I mean, Sabah
Why is it
Sabah is a different animal in this instance, right? I mean, it's a state. We still do have a
But they have
majority.
been doing that now. In this coming election, it is now, the current situation now, it is actually not. They are a combination of quite a number of parties.
Okay,
So,
so
what difference does it make?
Okay, so you've said PN has already identified a chief minister candidate, but you are keeping it under wraps. I think you were quoted as saying you will only announce it at the last possible moment. What's the strategy behind this? Why last possible moment?
Kids, we are going to a battle. Should I tell what's my strategies?
Well,
Definitely, I won't have to
It
tell.
does help the voters make a better informed decision, right?
Correct. Do we have our own people on the ground? Yes, we have the people on the ground. How could you doing it without telling the people who's going to be the next one, right or not?
Okay.
But do I have to announce it? I don't think so.
Any hint who
The
they
time will come. The time will come. We'll do it. But the last round also, we did not do it early.
Okay.
But we did it just about in the middle during our campaign.
Okay.
So that's it can happen again this coming election.
But the strategy is different for the federal government. I mean, you've already named Tan Sri Muhyiddin as your prime ministerial candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Bersatu have already announced it. So
But he's not a Perikatan Nasional candidate, are you saying?
at the moment, the Perikatan did not make any decision yet.
Okay.
So for us, we said, okay, all of us agreed that he's going to be our candidate.
Okay, another thing that I read that was very interesting to me, you called Bersatu the most inclusive party in Malaysia's history. But when I look at your party's name, right, it's literally Malay and Bumiputra. If you include PAS, that's only Muslims. How are you inclusive? How are you inclusive considering Malaysia is multi-religious, multi-ethnic?
Look at Bersatu. You know, when you look at Bersatu, everyone can be a member in our constitution. But at the same time, we also block
But do you have Chinese and Indian party
as
members?
a wing. As a wing.
Yeah, but how high can they go in the party positions?
As a vice
President?
president. As a vice president.
Not as a president?
You see, when you look at as a president of party, it's going to be a different context. I'm talking about Bersatu per se. And if you look at Bersatu when they formed, initially it was meant for the Malays and Bumiputra.
Okay.
And then we started to open up and say that, okay, why don't we include the non-Bumiputra to come in? And that's why we put them into that position at the moment until at that level, which is a vice president level. And there's no harm in the future, we don't know. Because it shows that after a few years, we change our constitution by taking the non-Bhumi Putra to come in and put them as a vice president. Initially, they were not. They were just like what they call an associate member. But now, currently, they are not an associate member anymore. They are actually Bersatu member, and their position is until up to the vice president. Okay? In the future, we can also change. At the moment, the numbers of the non-Bhumi Putra in our party is very small.
Okay, that's Sri. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here. I mean, with 70 years since Merdeka, why is it so hard for political parties to see Malaysians as Malaysians rather than Malay, Chinese, Indian, Muslims, non-Muslims?
You see, you look at countries per se. It is more looking into the demography of the country itself. The majority of when you look at the demography, the majority of the ethnics in this country, almost 70% are Bhumiputra.
Correct, yeah.
So, and if you open up and say, okay, into open, allowing everyone to have equal and not looking into demography per se, I think in the first day when they talk about equality, for example, then everyone has got to say their own rights. And the majority will say, hey, this is our majority, blah, blah, blah. So I think that was the reason.
So it's not going to happen?
In this country. It's going to happen one day.
Okay.
It's going to happen one day. I hope during our time. That's why I've already mentioned about the new national consensus.
Okay.
Agree to disagree. And agree to agree to everything that's fair. And agree to disagree on certain things. Like, for example, a religious matter. You talk about yourself, and I talk about my religion, and that should be agreed upon by everyone. And if everyone is fair to that kind of understanding, I think one day the party that rule this country is going to be a party that can accept this kind of consensus.
Okay, before I let you go, Dato' Sri, I have to ask you this. I mean, you're the leader of the opposition, the government in waiting, so to speak, Bersatu's deputy president. If PN wins federal power, would you want to be prime minister, and would you be a PM for all races and religions in this country?
Keith, to all my friends, they know I'm a person do not like to talk about on the racial issue. I'm not racist. I was actually a very reluctant politician. I was a businessman. As a businessman, I'm not only working with only one race, but I've got partners, Chinese as my partner, Indian as my partner, and I've been working with that kind of situation.
Okay.
In those days when I was young. I want to give you one story. And, I left the government, and I was working for the government for a short while. And then I left the government, and at that time I was working in Perak, in Ipoh.
Okay.
And I said, I want to start on my own. I called a friend of mine. Brother, I want to start my own business.
Okay.
And he said, for the start, I don't have anything. I have nothing. So I need to have a place. I said, brother, you are a real brother to me. We have known each other for quite some time. So why don't you come and stay with me in my house? He said that, in his house. And I said, okay. And when I came and be in the house, you know what he said to me? This room is yours. He is a married man.
Yep.
He is a Chinese.
I understand. But back to my question, would you want to be prime minister?
No. Why I want to tell you this is this. I'm a Chinese. Why I want to tell you this story? just because I want everyone to know that when your question just now is whether I want to be Prime Minister,
Yeah.
I started as that. This is what I would like to say.
Yeah.
A very reluctant politician. And then I started with a Chinese friend to do my own business.
Okay.
Okay. After that, I was doing very well. And I sold my companies. And I came here in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, but we're pressed for
But
time,
then after that, I moved into political, when I feel that maybe I need some political godfather or something
Okay.
like that. And I met Najib. Najib said, why don't you come and join us? That was way back in 1990.
Correct. So, just in the interest of time, would you want to be Prime Minister at the end of the day?
You see, when you ask me this kind of question,
Yeah.
I do not know how to answer you because I started as a reluctant politician. But once given a job, I'll do it according to what I can. So that's what my answer is. I'm not looking and say that, hey, I want to be a Prime Minister. No.
You might be a reluctant Prime Minister, you saying?
No. I might be given a task and I'll do that job. If I was never given a task, it's okay. The most important thing, I would like to do a good job for the people of this country.
Dr. Sri Hamzah, thank you very much for the conversation.
Thank you.
On the Breakfast Grille this morning was Dr. Sri Hamzah Zainudin, Perikatan National Deputy Chair and Bersatu Deputy President, as well as the Opposition Leader. I'm Keith Kam for BFM 89.9, the business station.